imposes visa sanctions on China for forced assimilation of Tibet children. The U.S. State Department announced visa sanctions on Chinese officials responsible for the forced assimilation of Tibetan children, and sanctions are in response to a new Chinese law that requires all Tibetan children to attend state-run schools, where they are taught Mandarin Chinese and other subjects that promote Chinese culture. The Chinese government has denied that the law is intended to assimilate Tibetan children, but human rights groups say it is part of a broader effort to suppress Tibetan culture and religion. The U.S. State Department said the sanctions were designed to deter the Chinese government from its ongoing efforts to suppress Tibetan culture and religion. The sanctions will bar the officials from entering the United States and will freeze their assets in the country. Who mocked Xi Jinping flees China on jet ski, rides 300 km to S. Korea. A Chinese man who mocked President Xi Jinping on social media has fled the country on a jet ski and traveled 300 kilometers to South Korea. The man, who has not been identified, is said to have been critical of Xi's handling of the COVID-19 pandemic and the economy. He is the first person known to have fled China by jet ski. Traffic jam at drought-hit Panama Canal, over 200 ships stuck. A major traffic jam has developed at the Panama Canal due to a drought that has reduced the water level. Over 200 ships are now stuck at the canal, waiting to transit. The drought is also causing problems for farmers and businesses in Panama. The canal is a major shipping route between the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans, and the traffic jam is costing businesses millions of dollars. Hundreds of flights canceled as Typhoon Sila barrels towards Hong Kong. Hundreds of flights have been canceled as Typhoon Sila barrels towards Hong Kong. The typhoon is expected to make landfall in the city on Saturday morning. Strong winds and heavy rain are expected, and there is a risk of flooding and landslides. The Hong Kong Observatory has issued a typhoon signal No. 8, which is the second highest level of warning. Scientists say they found a direct link between planet-warming pollution and polar bear survival. Scientists say they have found a direct link between planet-warming pollution and polar bear survival. The study, published in the journal Nature, found that polar bears are more likely to die from starvation when exposed to high levels of pollution. The pollution is thought to interfere with the bear's ability to smell food, which is essential for their survival. A new study published in the journal Nature has found a direct link between planet-warming pollution and polar bear survival. The study, led by scientists from the University of Washington, found that polar bears are more likely to die from starvation when exposed to high levels of pollution. The pollution is thought to interfere with the bear's ability to smell food, which is essential for their survival. Polar bears rely on their sense of smell to find seals, their main prey. When the pollution levels in the air and water are high, it can make it difficult for the bears to smell their prey. This can lead to them going hungry and eventually starving to death. The study also found that the pollution levels are increasing in the Arctic, which is further threatening the survival of polar bears. The Arctic is warming at twice the rate of the rest of the planet, and this is causing the sea ice to melt. This is making it difficult for polar bears to find food and raise their young. The study's findings are a sobering reminder of the impact that climate change is having on polar bears and other Arctic wildlife. It is important to take action to reduce pollution and slow the pace of climate change in order to protect these animals and their habitats. The study's lead author, Dr. Kristen Layadrosa, said, "This study provides strong evidence that pollution is a major threat to polar bears. We need to take action to reduce pollution in the Arctic if we want to give polar bears a chance to survive." The study's findings have been met with concern by conservationists. Polar bears are already considered a vulnerable species, and this study suggests that their situation is even more dire than previously thought. Conservationists are calling for urgent action to reduce pollution in the Arctic and protect polar bears from extinction. These are just a few of the top news headlines around the world today.
Become a subscriber and get exclusive access to our content. We're more than just a channel, we're a community. Subscribe and join us on the journey. Thanks for watching.